It was good. I mean, there were a couple things that were a little off. I don't know, red flags, but you couldn't really put your finger on it.
I always had this really strong feeling that I would be happy in a marriage someday, that things would work out exactly as I had thought. It was kind of like the fairy tale dream that I think every girl has.
Something wasn't right. I knew I didn't want to leave him alone with my children. There was nothing more than just this gut feeling.
It's those moments, again, if you're battling them alone without anybody to share them with, those are the worst.
What was Discovery Day like for you? I mean, describe the moment. What was that like?
You know that feeling where like you really can feel the blood drain out of your face? It's like your heart stops almost. It had been almost like a slow bleed. It was shocking, but it was kind of that like, I can't do this anymore. You've got like another lie, like you've got to be kidding me. Every day I would go through like 50 emotions. And I'd be like super pissed, super heartbroken, feel like a total idiot. Like, how did I miss all of this? How did I not, you know? Oh, you walk in the door and your hair's still wet from the shower you took at the hotel and kiss me like when I'm making you dinner. How did I not see that? How did I not? But you just don't.
The day I found out about the affair was horrifying and awful, but I found out details of it on other Discovery Days. And one of those days was the day I found out that this baby that I knew that had been part of our lives in a way was his. And I let out a blood-curdling scream. I felt with that scream all my life energy left me, you know, like your spirit's leaving your body, and I was going to crumble. It is really rough, and it changes you forever when you are betrayed that way. It changes you forever. You know, your relationships in every way are not the same. It doesn't mean I am incapable of trust. In fact, that's absolutely not true. I am capable of trust, but it doesn't come automatically.
I have twin boys who are 6 now, and I knew the moment I had them that there was something wrong in my marriage. I knew it was a bad situation, and I knew it was going to get worse. I kicked him out of the house, and you know, and even though lie upon lie upon lie upon lie, and to this day, I truly honestly don't even know the truth, and I don't even know the extent. I had to be tested for everything.
Oh yeah.
So that's a fun day in our lives, isn't
yeah,
it?
It's a great day.
And what's interesting is when I was dating him, I specifically asked him if he had a problem with pornography. I specifically asked him. And of course, the answer was no. So I'm like, I believe you, okay. Let's have children.
It wasn't like a breakup where I could say, you know what, maybe there were struggles in our relationship. Maybe it wasn't always the easiest relationship. And in a relationship, you just go separate ways, but this was a marriage, and to me that meant commitment, that meant you stay together through the good and the bad, you're loyal to each other, you're faithful. So when he didn't show any of that, it hurt that much more. Because the only way that experience made sense is if I was such a crummy person that I deserved that.
Any woman going through addiction or infidelity or divorce, you know, the pain and the hurt is all the same. So why was the Togetherness Project, why did it relate to you?
Quite honestly, we are living right now in a time that our parents didn't live in. And we're seeing things that our parents didn't see, and we're seeing things that our grandparents didn't see, and we're seeing things that our great-great-grandparents didn't see.
I was so alone. There was really nowhere to turn because I wasn't about to tell family, friends, anyone what was going on.
The first 7 months, I didn't tell anybody any of it anyway.
Right.
And then the next part, my parents knew because I was living with them, but they can't relate.
None of my friends had gone through this. A lot of my friends had just gotten married, were starting their families, 1 or 2 kids, and then suddenly this happens to me and nobody could relate to me. All these women that are coming to the Togetherness Project, like as soon as you say one word, they're like, I understand. Like you barely begin and there's just this level of understanding that I haven't found anywhere else.
You walk into a room and everybody's kind of on the same page. It's finding that sisterhood. It's finding that, okay, I know this happened, but what's next?
Yes.
I was aching for support. I was aching for understanding. And that was not available to me, at least that I knew. And if there had been an advertisement that I had seen about something like the Togetherness Project 8 years ago, I would have done whatever it took to get there.
I knew how much it was needed, and I knew how it was going to be a good thing, and I knew that it was going to help heal a lot of people.
Tell me about the connections and the friends you've made and what that healing has brought into your life.
Well, the very first person that I met was you. You were a lifesaver that day. Like I felt that I could look at you and you were on the other side of something so horrific.
My whole social circle has completely shifted. Like, I've found so many people who are willing to talk about the hard and the hurt, and there's something about that that just connects. I like that deeper connection and that ability to talk about life isn't perfect and life never goes as planned.
Some of them are in the shock and awe, horrified stage. Some are in the anger stage. Some are wonder if they'll ever feel healed. Some are starting to feel healing. Some are bitter. Some hate men. Some question their faith. And I always feel like it's so important that they know it's okay to be wherever they are in the journey.
Sometimes we have to shed who we thought we were going to be in order to become something better. I think that's what this process is, and I think that's what life's supposed to be.
And this is why, you know, again, 8 years from D-Day now, I can look back and say, I would not change a single thing. I don't care how horrific my experience was. It was worth the life I have now.
Like, people always stand up in church and they're like, I'm so grateful that I went through this trial. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm never grateful that this happened to me.
But look who you are now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad it happened to you because if it didn't, I would have never met you.
That is true.